we are about to start a little apple experiment. We got a lot of apples still, so we still want some apple recipes. I only made one though, right? So it's totally fine. But we are just vlogging this month, and so that means you get to see everyday life. So that means if I make apple recipes multiple days a week, you're gonna see apple recipes multiple days a week. I didn't make nothing yesterday because, well, I made cookies, but not apple cookies. We still had some of that apple pie left. It was the best. Like, I gave John a huge piece last night, like massive, and he ate it up. It was really good. Like, definitely top 3. Probably the best apple pie recipe that I have made. So it's a keeper. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch it 2 or 3 videos back, or, you know, it's easy, should be easy to find. I think it's called brown butter apple pie. Nonetheless, we are going to make some pull-apart bread today. A couple of weeks ago, I made some monkey bread for Lily, and I was like, you know, this recipe would have been good as pull-apart bread. And so since then, I've been thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna make some cinnamon apple pull-apart bread. So we're gonna do that, but I'm only gonna do one little loaf of that. With the other half of that dough, we're going to do some apple fritters. Might not be necessarily half, but I'm just gonna make the recipe, my bread recipe. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make my bread recipe, and then I'm just gonna take a half, a third, whatever of it out and make apple fritters with that. But we're also gonna make some apple pull-apart bread. So we're gonna go ahead and get it started. Mornings are just so much calmer and quieter around here, so that is when I prefer to do most of my content inside the house. Like, if we're gonna just sit and chat, we can do that outside anytime, but if it's gonna be in the house, I prefer it to be quiet. Like, my kids ain't loud and rowdy or nothing anymore, for the most part, unless their big brother's here, and then everybody just turns back into little kids, which we ain't mad about, usually. Sometimes they get annoying, not gonna lie. But anyways, it's calm and quiet in the morning. The dogs ain't making a ruckus unless a delivery guy comes. Mostly it's not John's TV blaring in the background, because homeboy listens to TV so loud. So loud. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get this made and share that with you. All right, I'm gonna get this started here. I'm just gonna throw the bread together, and then we'll share after the process, because I literally just shared the bread in a video last week. I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do for dinner, and I mean, that's still a while away. My plan was, I think I was gonna do corn dogs and French fries. I don't know why I just made that noise. I do it a Violet on FaceTime, so maybe that's why. It got me thinking that John and Nolan have been wanting to try squirrel. We watched Kendall Gray, what they do, and I'm usually in the room when they do. And he's from a little bit more south Kentucky of us, and he's a great little feller. We've been watching him for years, and my favorite, to be honest, is I like watching when Mamie is in the videos. His grandma, I love her so much. Look, I love her so much. But in one of the recent videos, he made squirrel in it, and John was telling Nolan that we need to try it. And Nolan's been into like squirrel hunting and stuff like that a little bit here lately. Like, been wanting to go and whatnot. Anyways, and I reminded him that years and years ago, it was before Nolan was created, John killed a squirrel, and we tried it. We did try it. I sure didn't. We cooked it, and he didn't know how to cook it. I didn't know how to cook it. Ew. I never done nothing like that in my life. And he boiled it, and it smelled so bad. Like, not rotted or nothing, but it was so gross. Like, I don't remember the smell, but I remember it haunting me and the whole family. Like, nobody enjoyed the smell that came from that. And so I don't know why he wants to, I guess, give it a second chance. But I told them they're allowed to cook one, but I ain't doing it. And they need to really do it outside. But I don't know. It's not my thing. You know, it's just not. And I was thinking about that they want to kill a squirrel and eat it. Yes, by the way. That's one thing I really like about him, is he's not like loud, obnoxious. He's kind of goofy sometimes, but he actually really reminds me, which is probably why I kind of drawn to him, but he really reminds me of my older cousin. Growing up, we used to, for a while, we lived in Indiana, so we'd come down and spend the whole summer with my grandma. I think we even did that when we lived here closer, though. And I would always gravitate to my aunt Vanda's house, And I have a cousin named Randall, and he acts so much like Kendall does, like just goofy and high energy, and he was always just so fun and just so fun to be around. And I think that's one reason that I enjoy Kendall, but Nolan really enjoys his videos too. And so anyways, I watch them for Mamie though, because she has my heart. She's just the sweetest little thing ever. Love her so much. Let's make some bread. I'm gonna get this made, throw together. I'm gonna turn back on my sermon on the TV, and then whenever we start to experiment and make the magic happen, I'll share that with you. And when I'm making the bread, I don't typically add vanilla to just like sandwich bread, but since we are doing it with just desserts, I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla to the mix as well. Just want to throw that out there. Everything else on the bread is the same as the other recipes. I know this isn't enough. But we're gonna add a little bit of brown sugar. I just grabbed the dark. I thought it would be the prettiest, so that's why we got it. No other reason than that. We're gonna add about 2 tablespoons, 1.5, 2 of cinnamon, of a cup of white sugar, granulated, whatever. We're gonna go with 1/2 cup. In case you didn't know, we don't really measure much around here. Let's get this all mixed together here. Just a pinch. We're gonna go with about 1 tablespoon. I always get too much flour and then I just smush the excess to the side. Apple fritters, because I'm not gonna make too many of those. Just wanted to like sample it, experiment kind of thing. Apples to one of these, but then I decided I'm gonna save those. My friend made some rolled like cinnamon cookies, and I thought those would be really good if I added dried apples to those. So we might make some of those in a couple days. I don't think that's gonna be enough. I don't care if the bread ends up being a little small. So we're gonna go about half. We're gonna sit this to the side, and I put my bowl in the sink with water in it, so we just have to go back here. Okay, so this is gonna be our bread. Let's start with it. What I want to do is just cut this into pieces. It doesn't have to be perfect. Take one of the pieces and just kind of smush it down. And then add just a couple of the apples. Should have probably cut them smaller, but it's fine. And then I'll get a spoon, but I got this little coffee scoop that was in there. Just put a little bit of this here. And then we're going to repeat it. Layered together. It might get a little sketchy. I might have to do half. Probably will do half and then put it in the pan and then do the other half so that it doesn't get like, you know, super tall or something. I'm going to take the half here and just push it up against the side. And on the very top we are going to do some as well, because this will be the side that goes against the other side. Alright, just pick it up and kind of mend it together here. And then flatten it down just a little bit. We're going to go in and add just a few little extra apples here and there. Pasteurize again for another like 20 or 30 minutes. I'm an effort here. So I'm just doing a little bit of these, like I said, because this is just a whim kind of thing. So let's not make 2 or 3 fritters here. And then if they're good, we can always make more later, but just wanted to test it out. Cinnamon mixture. And then we're gonna layer in our apples. More of the cinnamon goodness. Alright, now we're going to take the top of it, fold it over, and kind of press it in on itself. So now we're going to just take our knife. Looks like we're going to go with 6, just so that I got a nice even number. Even if they come out smaller, that's fine. Looks like we're going with 8. I didn't have much parchment paper, so I just went with foil paper. Just kind of shape them a little bit more round. That doesn't really matter, but it's just a personal thing. Could fry them, but I think I'm going to bake them at least halfway through, and then we might fry them a little bit. We'll see.
Your mom would go down there in the road in that white road. Gummy was a horse?
No. He had a pet horse. It says he was just a...
What was he? Talk to us.
Last step. Now I did burn a little bit over browned. He might be burnt. One of the fritters. I baked them, and then I did want to just fry them just a little bit, just to give them the actual like fritter taste. I don't know. Either way, I burnt one of them and then almost burnt another one. Take some powdered sugar here. Add just a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Lead them. Making some glaze for them apple fritters I made.
Is that one burnt?
A little bit, yes it is.
You always burn that.
I do. Gotta keep myself humble in the kitchen. Huh? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, a little bit more. Back. We're gonna take, this is one of the more burnt ones. Drip it in here. Look, nobody knows it's burnt now. Get off some of the excess. This is the more burnt one. Like he's literally burnt, but that's okay. These look better. And then we're just going to do this for all of them, and then we're going to make some glaze for the bread. Yep, I did that. Alright, now in the bowl, I'm going to add some powdered sugar. I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. Powdered sugar. A little bit of heavy whipping cream. I want this to be thicker though. Just a little bit thicker because we're not going to be dipping. I want to just drizzle this on top of it. we need to make a tiny bit more. All right, and then here we have our bread. And these both turned out really good. Nolan and John really liked the apple fritters. The bread was my favorite. It was delicious, especially if you warmed it up and served it with caramel. Everything's better with caramel. But thank you guys so much for watching and being here and supporting, and we love y'all. We'll see you next time. As always, remember to show grace, be content, and live blessed.